introducing her is Elizabeth again.
I'm sure none of you have seen Renee walking down the hallway because she's always sick. But when she is here, she's the quiet girl who is always dressed perfectly and always gets good grades. But how many of you honestly know the real Renee? Here are 5 facts that you all probably don't know about Renee. 1. Renee is the worst texter in the world. She often takes 12 hours to respond to a text, and the next day will instead just say, well, you know, I saw all of your texts and mentally replied to them, but I was too lazy to type them. She also struggles texting guys. Sophomore year, she had a major crush on a senior at Manual, but didn't know what to say to him. So she forwarded every text to me and would copy my reply and send it directly to him. What happened if I didn't reply in 10 minutes? Oh yeah, she called me until I responded. This all worked well until one day they met in person and he said, wow, you sound completely different in person. 2. Renee is violent. She once ran over me with a bike, and instead of apologizing and getting off of her bicycle to help me, she just kept riding and looking back and said, oh well. Her concern was overwhelming. 3. Renee is an interesting driver. Her car was completely totaled 3 days after she got it, and the first day that she drove it to school. When trying to cross 4 lanes of traffic on Shelbyville Road, she decided that changing lanes the normal way was lame, so instead opted for a straight across approach with a sudden 90-degree angle turn at the end to add a dash of danger and intrigue. To make it more interesting, oh yeah, she was screaming moves like Jagger at the top of her lungs, with the windows down. 4. Renee is an overachiever and extremely hardworking. Hello, Johns Hopkins class of 2016? Don't be fooled by her, I'm gonna fail this, or I don't get this, or I didn't even try. Believe me, she tried, she will win, and you will feel dumb. It's just life. 5. Renee is the greatest friend that you will ever have. She is always willing to go out of her way to help a friend. Whether that's something as simple as a ride home or talking for 3 hours about a problem, she will always be there for you. Renee, I love you like a sister, and you've been the best friend I could ask for these past 4 years of high school, and I can't even begin to describe how much I'm going to miss you next year. I know you're going to be super successful no matter what you end up doing in the future. Good luck with your speech, just don't start laughing. 화장실 이어리입니다.
Everybody has expectations. And I'm sorry if I sound like I'm generalizing, but I'm pretty sure Asians are a single race with the highest expectations. As an Asian, I truly believe that this is the one common characteristic that we share other than our looks, which makes others hard to distinguish our nationalities. Academic expectations are the most obvious, but before I get into that, let me share a minor expectation first. Expectation number 1. If you're a Korean student studying abroad in the US, you have got to be in the East or in the West in states like Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, or California. Definitely not Kentucky. On the first day of my SAT subject test prep class during the summer 2 years ago, everyone had to introduce himself by saying his or her name, grade, and where he or she was studying. I said, hi, my name is Renee, I'm a sophomore, and I'm studying in Louisville, Kentucky. Awkward silence. And then the instructor started laughing and asked, Kentucky, are you serious? Like Kentucky Fried Chicken? Do you even learn anything there, or do you just learn how to raise chickens? I was kind of offended, not gonna lie. What a great first impression, I thought to myself. Ever since that day, everyone called me Chicken, and I remember working so hard in that class to prove to the instructor that I don't raise chickens and that I actually know how to balance equations. But unfortunately, he never stopped calling me Chicken, and he still does this today. Expectation number 2. This is what everyone knows. Be smart, work hard, go to college, and make your parents proud. During my high school years, I've been fitting myself into a box that certain people, like my Korean SAT instructors and college counselors, my parents, and my Korean friends have set for me. Things like SAT score of 2200 or above, minimum of 2 SAT subject tests, GPA of 3.8 or above, minimum of 3 AP classes per year, resume that includes sports, volunteer, and internship experience, an outstanding college essay that has to be revised a million times, a perfect TOEFL score, and the list goes on. Obviously, colleges don't have certain rules when it comes to admission. I knew that, but I kept fitting myself into that box because I was too scared that if I let myself out of the box, I would get rejected from colleges. Before a week, Johns Hopkins announced the results for early decisions. I didn't sleep at all. Every time I closed my eyes, I couldn't stop thinking about the things I should have done more and the things I should have written more on my college essay. I had nightmares about getting rejected from all the colleges I applied to. I prayed to God all day, making ridiculously bold promises that if I got into Hopkins, I will work so hard to become the greatest, richest person in the world and help all the destitute people around the world and make no one starve. But the true story is I didn't even want to go to Hopkins. I actually fell in love with NYU when I visited last spring break, and I still do. But I chose Johns Hopkins instead because it was better known that NYU among Koreans, and I wanted people to recognize that I got into a good college to make my parents feel proud. I know this sounds horrible, but I don't really regret my choice. Johns Hopkins has a beautiful campus and a great community. Also, my dad has been telling me how happy and proud he is because of all the compliments he got from his family and acquaintances ever since I got into Hopkins. After all the sacrifices my parents made for me, I think they deserve to feel satisfied and happy. According to what I've said so far, my life sounds pretty stressful and depressing. For 18 years, I thought I had no control of my own life. I blamed all the expectations from my parents, friends, and Korean people for giving me so much stress. But after I got into college, my view changed. Suddenly, with all the expectations gone and the pressure off, I completely lost my motivation to work hard and impress people. I only ate and slept. I didn't want to do homework. My grades started falling. I quit sports, volunteer, and everything I used to do outside of school. I felt like a walking zombie, and although my mom hated it, I loved it. My initial excuse was that because I'm in a college, I needed a break from everything just for a while. But unfortunately, this didn't happen just for a while. My senior side led me to become a totally different person, a lazy and a careless person who sits around and wastes time. As a result, I started doubting whether I could be the same hardworking, motivated person whom I used to be when I go back to college. Then I realized how precious those expectations were to me. I found out that the care and the expectations that I wanted to abandon all my high school year actually motivated me to become a functional member of the society instead of a walking zombie like I am right now. It hasn't shaped me, but helped me to become who I am today. I might have felt embarrassed with the nickname Chicken, but because of that, everyone knew who I was and I easily became friends with the classmates. It was one of the best summers ever. Because I applied to Johns Hopkins, I can now be in one of the best international relations curriculum, and if sometime in the future, my dad suddenly wants me to be a doctor and continue his business, I can change my major and study in the best medical school. If I get stuck in a math or science problem, I probably wouldn't have to be sitting in the comments desperately asking, "Where's Han?" Because I will have numerous nerds in the library with me, although I am quite sure that they will be a little less intelligent than Han is. I love Han. In addition, my friend who also got into Hopkins told me that there are so many Korean guys in Hopkins than there are girls. She told me that the ratio is about 8 to 2, which means less competition for me for college boys. We sound like middle school girls, but it's actually a big deal for us. Yay, pre-med college boys, here I come. My point is that looking at the expectation is like looking at the glass half full or half empty. You may look at them in certain ways and complain about the stress they give you, but if you just change your point of view a little bit, it becomes a whole different story. So all of you who may be suffering from either minor or major pressure or expectations, be positive. Look at the expectations around you and use it to your advantage instead of complaining about it, because I can guarantee you that although they may cause you some frustrations right now, they definitely will help you in some shape or form in the future.